Hey guys, so today I want to do a quick character analysis video on Stringer Bell from The Wire. Um, so yeah, I did one of these videos a little while back on Anakin Skywalker. Um, I've been watching a lot of The Wire recently, and one of the characters that really intrigues me is Stringer Bell. So let's get into this. Just kind of start out. Stringer Bell is basically second in charge to the Barksdale organization, which is the main, for the first three seasons at least, um, is the main antagonist stable, I guess you could say, in this show, The Wire, which of course is kind of a depiction of the police versus, the drug dealers and in the city of Baltimore. And obviously Stringer is second in charge in the largest, drug kingpin of Baltimore. And Stringer himself, is described, he's very cunning, he's very calculating, he's a smart guy. But it's funny because Avon has a line, and I'm going to paraphrase what Avon, is the head of the organization, tells Stringer. He tells Stringer that, he's not hard, he might not be hard enough for the streets, and he may not be smart enough for the people out there, and referencing the people out there, the businessmen, the politicians. So Stringer, he's definitely, he's definitely smart, he's definitely a cunning guy. But there is some truth to this in what Avon says. I mean, Stringer is the definition of a jack of all trades type of dude. Throughout the series, you can kind of see him making mistakes. I mean, you can see him make brilliant plays. Like, he often outsmarts Detective McNulty, and makes these plays that, such as, how he got D'Angelo off with, the faulty testimony, with getting a security guard to give faulty testimony, with how when Avon went to prison, he transitioned the gang, his Avon's kind of empire into kind of a more legalized route, and just also opting to go with a co-op with Proposition Joe and other drug dealers, to where there were less bodies, there's less attention on them, and they're making, just as much money. Stringer definitely did a lot of great things, but with all the great things that he did, he had a lot of mistakes. Taking out D'Angelo, while in and of itself may not have been a mistake within the game, how he responded to certain, he was very paranoid moving forward after that about the D'Angelo incident. You see it, in his interactions with Dawnette, who was D'Angelo's ex-girlfriend and his baby mama, and Stringer is now seeing Dawnette. He has an interaction with her where he kind of snaps at her, with her talking about D'Angelo, and he's certainly, I don't know, he makes a lot of mistakes. I mean, without going into every single little thing, he makes a lot of mistakes in the series. And the biggest mistake that he makes is, of course, trying to turn Omar and Brother Mouzone to, killers, basically, to just straight killers in the streets. He tries to convince Omar that Brother Mouzone was the one that killed Omar's lover and tortured him. So Omar goes after Mouzone, and Omar comes to find out that Mouzone had nothing to do with it. So not only do you deceive Omar, but you're also making an enemy out of Mouzone, who, as Prop Joe describes, has more bodies than a Chinese cemetery. So, not really a smart move by Stringer there. I mean, if you want to get rid of a guy like Omar and you want to kind of, get rid of Mouzone, I think you have to, there are other ways to go about it, in his position. But the funny thing, and this is probably the most fascinating thing about Stringer Bell's character, is that he always wanted to legitimize the Barksdale organization. And when Avon first goes to prison, he has the opportunity to do that, and he's starting to move in that direction. And we get to see on screen, Avon's quote about Stringer, hold true. He may not be fully hard enough for the streets, and he may not be smart enough for the businessmen and politicians out there, because while Stringer's a smart guy, he doesn't know that side of the game the way he probably should if, he's going to be making the maneuvers that he's making. He gets played by Clay Davis, who's a politician who basically just takes money from Stringer, promising to do things for him in his real estate development, and doesn't really, come through with it. And just, even with these struggles, Stringer is still found, he's still starting to find success. And upon the time of his death, he's finally starting to break out of the criminal world and into the legitimate world, which is something that he's wanted his entire life, right? And it's very interesting, because I look at a guy like Tywin Lannister, and I think him and Stringer are very similar in the sense of they're both villains that saw their demise right before they got everything they wanted. With Tywin, it would be, with Tyrion going to the Wall and Jaime being his heir. And with Stringer, it would be, having the Barksdale organization be a legitimate business. And the reason for both of their demises was, flaws in how they moved, right? In certain ways, like with Tywin, how he treated Tyrion, as a father, how he treated Tyrion, I guess, as his son, right? And with Stringer, it's, all of the shady shit that he did in the criminal world caught up with him in, his legitimate business world. So, Stringer's a very interesting character. I guess this is kind of it for my Stringer Bell analysis video. I can do probably a deeper analysis of him, but I'm gonna leave that up to you guys in the comments. It's probably be a longer video, but so this is my Stringer Bell video. I'm gonna try and do some other videos on different characters from The Wire, because it's really piqued my interest recently. And I might jump back into some Game of Thrones characters and, talk about them as well. But yeah, thank you guys very much. Hope you guys are all having a great Sunday night, and hope you enjoyed this video. Peace.